Welcome once again to Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. This time out, I would like to bring to your attention 3 great new fiction titles for your consideration when you go to your local bookstore. They all are highly recommended, and I hope you will consider them seriously. The very first one is What Could Be Saved by LIESE O'HALLORAN Schwarz. This is published by Atria, and it retails for $36. It is a very interesting mystery that mixes past and present. The book does go back to 1972 in Bangkok, where a family is living, and there is a girl, Laura, her sister Beatrice, and their brother Philip. Suddenly Philip, who is 8 years old at the time, he goes missing and he cannot be found. It's as though he has disappeared off the face of the earth. The parents are, well, an interesting couple. The mother has decided to have an affair because her husband is not paying a lot of attention to her. So a lot happens, and they cannot find the brother, so they come back to America. And so it goes to present day, where Beatrice gets a email about the brother, Philip, who is alive. Now, it was thought since, nearly 50 years have passed, that he was long dead. So the sister, Beatrice, who is sort of at odds with Laura, thinks it's a scam, one of these internet scams where, a long lost relative is suddenly alive and they want money or something. Well, Laura uses her instinct, and she thinks that her brother is alive after all these years. Now, her mother is on the slippery slope toward dementia, and she can't really give a lot of information about the brother. So Laura goes to meet the brother, Philip. She meets him, and she realizes this is her brother, definitely. And so he comes back with her, and it's a very interesting tale because the book alternates between present day and back to 1972, and we see how it all played out, how all the characters interacted, why there was dissension within the family. And it's a nice family story. So if you're looking for a book that is, it doesn't have a lot of action, of course. It's character driven. And we get to care for all these people. And by book's end, you will say, yes, I'm very happy that I read the book. So once again, What Could Be Saved is a book you should save in your must-read file. And I hope you'll read it fairly soon. The second book of interest is The Woman Outside My Door by Rachel Ryan. This is the debut novel from the Irish writer Rachel Ryan, and if this book is any indication of her potential as a writer, she's going to have a long career in the fiction writing business. This, by the way, is published by Simon & Schuster, and it retails for $24.99. It involves a family, Georgina, who has just lost her mother, Rose. She recently died. Now, her husband, Bren, admits to having an affair with another woman. And so there's a little bit of tension in the family. Now, her son, Cody, is down in the park with Georgina, and he suddenly comes back to Georgina and says, "Oh, I met my new granny." And of course, his grandmother, Rose, had recently died, and since there's no more grandmothers, Georgina is totally puzzled by who is this new granny, and they start to think that the boy made up these, stories to compensate for the fact that he lost his grandmother. But as we find out, there's a lot going on. We start to have a lot of suspicions. Is it possible that Bren's one night affair girlfriend, Gwen, was behind this? Because she suddenly shows up in the area, and as well there's vandalism that's gone on, and mysterious phone calls. And actually, her son says that he was talking to his new granny on the telephone, which when Georgina goes to the phone, there's nobody there. So naturally, she thinks, her son is acting out his pain at losing Grandma Rose. So as the story continues, we get to see a lot more suspects and potential, and we think it's almost like a supernatural story because it's like this mysterious woman, mysterious phone calls, phantoms in the night that come and go, but it's not that. It's very grounded, and the ending is quite a shock as we find out who is behind it all. Of course, I'm not going to say it, but anyways, it's definitely worth your time, and it's the sort of book. It's not a big book. It's under 275 pages, and it is sort of the book that you could go through in one sitting because you feel compelled to keep reading. So The Woman Outside My Door is the second book this week that we highly recommend. And the third and final book this week is The Butterfly House by Katrine Enberg. This is translated from the Danish, and it is reportedly the sequel to Katrine Enberg's debut book, The Tenant. It is a very intense murder mystery thriller, the type of book that you will definitely become engrossed in totally. The book features, once again, Jeppe Corner and Annette Werner, who are detectives. Annette Werner, though, is on maternity leave, and she really wants to get back into the swing of things because, as we find out in the book, there are 3 bodies that have been found. 2 have been found in a fountain, 1 in a lake, and they've been all drained of blood. There's a series of incisions in the bodies, and as they investigate, they find that they were caused by an ancient device known as a scarificator. That's a cube-like device where the spikes come out and it puts a whole bunch of holes in people's bodies. So slowly the people bled out. The police figured that the person who committed the crimes took great pleasure in watching the person slowly bleed out. It took maybe half an hour for them to actually die, to lose all their blood. So there's definitely a psycho out there. And the title, The Butterfly House, refers to a house for troubled teens, and all the victims were part of that house many years ago. They went to that facility. It has since been closed. So Jeppe Corner, Jeppe, I don't know how it's pronounced, it's Dutch, and he has a new partner for now to replace Annette, who is an older man. He's slow, he's plodding, and he's not as good as Annette. But Annette, who wants to get back to work, even though she's on maternity leave, she checks into the murders, and so she starts to investigate herself, even though she's not back on duty. So by the end, she puts her life at risk because the killer comes for her. So I'm not going to say what happens, of course, but anyways, if you want a very tense thriller, The Butterfly House will put butterflies in your stomach from all the tension and the grisly scenes of bloodless corpses. So those are the 3 books this week that I hope you will seriously consider. By the way, this is published by Scout Press, The Butterfly House, and it retails for $22. So there you go. There are your 3 books. Thanks again for watching us. As always, I welcome your comments, your likes, your dislikes, and I hope you will continue to view us online here. And in the meantime, as always, keep social distancing, keep well, keep safe, keep sane, and keep in touch. Bye for now.